I have personally been working in this industry for about 12 years now, and I can tell you that some of these brands like Yamaha and Conselmer are fantastic, and I would recommend them to anybody. The only problem is that they're going to be priced really high. So I'm going to be talking about one of my personal favorite brands, where you get the quality, but you get the savings as well. Today, we're looking at the Jupiter JAS 700 Alto Saxophone. Check it out. Howdy everybody, my name is Andrew King. We are here at Alamo Music. Don't forget to visit us at alamomusic.com, where we have this and many more instruments available for purchase. Today we're going to be talking about Jupiter, in particular the wonderful JAS 700A Alto Saxophone, their student model available for purchase. So this instrument is super cool, and just to tell you about Jupiter as a whole, it's a fantastic brand that should be looked at more. You have your Yamahas, you have your Conselmers, and those are fantastic brands. The only thing is that they've been around so long and have such control of this kind of market around saxophones and different instruments in the student model range that they are priced relatively high, and sometimes that just doesn't work out for someone who doesn't know if their kid's going to stick with an instrument or not. So this is where I'm going to recommend, and I can't recommend enough, this Alto. The JAS 700A from Jupiter is a fantastic alternative to your YAS 23s and your AS 500s. These instruments are fantastic for any kind of aspiring 6th grader, adults, or any kind of person that wants to just take a saxophone, have something that's going to be consistent all around, and take it for the long run. If you're a parent that's looking for their kid to get into saxophone or any kind of band instrument in general, Jupiter's fantastic in that sense. The brand is extremely well regarded as far as different music stores, band directors everywhere, and it's also extremely good as far as playability go. Now, Jupiter as a brand is very much known for their extremely good brass instruments. Now, the saxophone in the student range has a lot of cool, really neat features that really show that prowess in those fields, and I'm very excited to talk about the kind of ingenuity and different things about this horn that really brings it above others while having a price point that I can't recommend enough if you're not sure your kid's going to stick with it. Now, let's talk about the saxophone in general, right? So we have a bunch of different features on this. You have extremely cool palm keys on it. You have adjustable palm keys. You just take an Allen wrench on the side and you'll be able to raise or lower the palm keys. Now, for a student saxophone, this is really great. Kids are going to come in all different sizes, and the saxophone's popular enough that everyone's going to want to try to play it, and anyone can play it. All it really takes is a neck strap, a person, and the horn. But the thing with saxophones is it kind of takes a certain kind of hand size to be able to wrap your whole hand around and properly place them on the keys, especially when it gets down to getting to the B flats and whatnot and on the G sharp table on the side. With being able to adjust the D, the E flat, and the F key on the side with the palm keys, you're going to be able to take any kid, anyone who's kind of smaller or taller, and adjust them to that part. So depending on their habits and whatnot or their size, you can adjust it to where it's very comfortable on the hand and they're not having to stretch, or they're developing bad habits because the instrument just was too big at the time. This is extremely cool, especially for younger children. So that's one of the big reasons I can't recommend this instrument enough. Not to speak to the quality of the build. The instrument's very nice and heavy. I do recommend it, especially for younger kids, as far as having an instrument like 6th graders where something might happen to the instrument. This is an instrument that's kind of designed to take a beating. It has a large amount of rods on it. It has a large amount of basically precision screws and whatnot. So it means it's going to be easily fixable, but it also means that it's like the kid's not really going to wreck it the first time something bad might happen. Now, of course, if you drop a saxophone, it's going to need to go to the shop, right? Things will get out of adjustment and whatnot. But the other cool thing about Jupiter in general, it's a very popular brand as an alternative and very well priced. So any of the music stores around you, like local retail stores or even your big national chains, they're going to have parts available for the saxophone, and it means that you're going to be able to get it fixed relatively quickly in comparison to, say, your Amazon brands and whatnot, right? So this is another reason why a lot of band directors are going to be recommending this instrument. It's just a very consistent one. And talking about consistency, the instrument's great right out of the box, no matter which one I pulled out. We ordered about 6 or 7 of these. these are great across the board. All the saxophones play great, very minor adjustments were needed to be made, so these are perfectly rentable and whatnot. So if you're looking for a saxophone that's going to be playable for your 6th grader or your student, I can't recommend the JS 700A enough. It's perfect on all bounds, the intonation's good and whatnot as well. So let's take a listen to it and we'll talk about more later. So, what did you think? Get down in the comments and let me know. Did you like the sound of it? I personally enjoyed playing it. Now, this is a student model, so if you've listened to me play other saxophones and whatnot, this one's definitely going to sound a little thinner. I think especially in that mid-range, but it's not to speak down on its quality or for its purpose. This isn't a student model instrument. It's made for basically a beginner player. It's super easy to play through, though. From the top end to the low end, I'm able to clearly speak throughout the horn, and that's something you want, especially for it to be in tune. So that really gives it a huge plus in my eyes as far as that goes. The ergonomics on it are also fantastic. I have relatively larger hands, and so I'm able to kind of comfortably put it on there. But as far as this instrument goes, I've been selling these and using these with parents and whatnot for so long. I always recommend it if that's something that as far as like you can't really afford like the Yamaha, or you can't really afford the Conn-Selmer instruments. Parents are just that are looking for an instrument that the kid's going to be able to use for a long time, don't have to break the bank for it. It's great as one of those kind of like rent-to-own instruments. So if you have like a local music store around you, I'd always recommend checking those out. Look at your band list. This is one of those instruments that's more than likely going to be on there. They're consistent across the board, and I can't recommend them enough. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like. It helps out so much for us in the end. Lets us get our cooler instruments in and whatnot, and we can go ahead and do cool reviews on those. And thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.